Most people fail in life because they think they're Doctor Strange. Now, here's what I mean. So, Doctor Strange in the Avengers movie, there's this one scene where he tries and calculates all the different possibilities there are for them to win or lose. And he calculates like 14 million, I think. But he calculates like millions and millions of possibilities. He literally sees what each path will take him and whether they'll win at the end or whatever the outcome is. And he goes through this immense amount of effort and using like magic and superpowers to be able to do that. Now, that exact process is what so many people, and for me for the longest time, and still a bit now, do on a daily basis when it comes to decision making. Oftentimes when we make a decision, especially with like big ones, we try and calculate all the different ways that we could do it, and we think on a very granular level exactly how that decision will play out. If, let's say, I want to do medicine, I would literally think 10 years down the line, I'll be in this room doing this, going on this rotation, looking at this patient to the exact T. And the thing is, I would do that with almost every area of my life, whether it be big decisions like, picking a career like medicine, or small decisions like, going, what should I grab for lunch today? I will play out all these different possibilities. And the issue with that is we can never make a right decision. It's very hard to look into the future, the unknowns, and make a right decision from now. One, because you don't know a lot of things that you don't know. And second, oftentimes there is no 100% right decision. And so when we obsess about not doing anything and just trying to make the best decision that we can without actually doing anything and just thinking, it oftentimes just leads to a lot of unnecessary thinking, and it overcomplicates the decision of sorts. And what I've realized is that the Doctor Strange approach of trying to map out every single possibility you can possibly take in life to the exact T, to the exact level of detail where you can just see it in front of your eyes. You know how every decision is going to play out, regardless of whatever you do. That is just not going to happen. And that's just not real life. And instead, I want to introduce you to a way of thinking, a way of making decisions that my mentor introduced to me, and it's probably one of the most useful things when it comes to just making good life choices. And fundamentally, there's a lot of things that go towards making right decisions, but one of the main principles I've learned is the idea of positional decision making. So if you've ever played chess before, you don't need to know chess to understand this analogy. Basically, at the start of a chess game, the top chess masters, they play moves not because they know 100 moves down the line what's going to happen. Instead, they just move moves to put their future self in a better position. For example, in chess, you would often move your pawns out so it opens up your other pieces to attack. Now, even though in the short term, it doesn't necessarily lead to any outcomes, it's putting your future self in a better position where those pieces can actually do something. And so it's basically just prepping your future self. That's the idea of positional decision making. You want to make decisions that put your future self in a better position. So for example, right now, regardless of which career I want to do, I should probably master the skill of communication, the skill of learning how to learn, or meta learning, is what they call it. Because regardless of whatever I do, regardless of which career, which outcome, I'm going to need those skills regardless. And if anything, having those skills right now would actually help me make the decision better by allowing me to access certain opportunities that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to without those skills. So that's why positional decision making is so important. And so right now, it's I'm thinking about do I go ahead with medicine, or do I go ahead with working at a startup and doing that? Now, regardless of which path I want to do, I need to master those skills that I just told you. Because regardless of whatever path I take down, even if I do a completely different path, I'm very confident that I'm going to need those skills. And so you may not always be able to make the right decision, but you'll always be able to make positional moves that will put your future self in a better position. I don't know why I keep saying that. It puts your future self in a better position, so your future self is better equipped to handle whatever that decision is. And oftentimes, it opens up new doors so that decision that you thought you had to make may not even be the actual decision that you have to make, because you found other avenues to actually tackle the problem instead. So that's how positional decision making has greatly benefited my life. And that's something I'm greatly prioritizing over the Doctor Strange, like, mapping out every single outcome. Obviously, it's just a movie, but oftentimes I feel like I fall into that style of decision making, and I know so many people I talk to do as well. So I hope that is not you, and I hope with this video you'll be able to make the right decision for your circumstance. So take care.